Meteorologist, chief meteorologist, WTR Eyewitness News, and of course does the weather here at WIBX. She's on the line now. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning.
You're up bright and early every morning. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've always been a morning person, and the night shift kind of kills me a little bit. But I'm adjusting. Here I am, 6:30.
Listen, I am the same way. But I can't go to bed at night. Like I can't. I have a tough time saying, "Oh, I'm going to miss this" or something like that. I'm up till 11, 12 o'clock every night. But then I'm back up in the morning. It's the schedule. So okay, daylight savings time coming this week, and some warm weather coming this week. I was wondering if you can give us a bit of a pitch as to where you think this weather is going to be over the course of the next 30 days or winter. I know some new stuff seemed to come out this week.
Yeah, the whole winter is kind of tough. Even the month is a little bit tough, but there's a pretty good general idea that even though right now, tomorrow, even Thursday is going to be a little bit above average, that by the middle of the month, there's probably going to be a pretty big pattern change. So that's actually going to switch us very quickly from where we are now, and then average temperatures, which is close to 50. We'll get back to that by Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And then by the middle of the month, we'll switch quickly to a more winter-type pattern, and that, unfortunately, will probably mean some snow, too. And with Lake Ontario being as warm as it is from this summer, that could also mean some pretty good lake effect events. But
wow.
If we have just even a minor shift in the pattern, then that would mean, not that at all. So it is kind of tough to do a whole month forecast, but there's a pretty clear change that something's going to flip pretty quickly. But even that can change.
Yeah. And
very quickly too.
Is it this La Nina that is making things so predictable, or the lack thereof on the West Coast?
Yeah, it's kind of almost the opposite of what we had last year with the El Nino. The thing is, the La Nina this year isn't, equally as strong as El Nino was last year. So what it basically means is it's not going to be the complete opposite type winter this year. So I don't think right now, as it stands right now, which I could be totally wrong in a month, but as it stands right now, it looks like it'll be more of an average type winter. There's not going to be quite the extreme like we had last year with it being so warm, and there's not going to be quite the extreme that we had a couple years ago when I think our average temperature in February 2015 was like 8 degrees. So I don't think it's going to be quite like that, but somewhere in the middle. So kind of the nuisance winter that, feels like it goes on forever, but that's really just how the season goes.
Typical, right? So it could be more of a typical upstate winter. Who'd be happy about that is the ski resorts and the snowmobilers, because even that really cold, nobody wants to go out and go skiing when it's 1 above 0.
Oh yeah, that's the winter that everyone really hates, even the winter lovers. So I don't think we'll get quite as many outbreaks, if you will, as we did the one year that it was very cold. But I think we will get a couple of those type events that might last, a couple days to a week. I just don't think it's going to be an entire month where we're extremely cold.
Bob, quickly with a question. I got to roll, Bob. Your question is about the Great Lakes, right?
Yeah, I think they're extra warm this year, Rachel, so I'm wondering how many incidents of
lake effect
enhancement. They call it lake enhancement or lake effect. We're going to have.
What do you think about and that's really what you're
so unpredictable. I know you can't do that.
But that's kind of what you're talking about, Rachel, right? Is the warmer temperatures in the water there?
Yeah, exactly. So even just it being a couple degrees warmer than normal, which I think it's actually running a few degrees above normal for this time of year.
Yeah.
And we had, a very hot summer. So that adds to the heat. We keep adding that on through an entire season. And then by fall, the water is ridiculously warm. So all it takes is air that's well below freezing, which is very easy to get this time of year and later on this season. So all it takes is that to come over the lakes, and that'll spark a pretty big lake effect event. And with the warmer lakes, that also means that it's going to take longer for them to freeze over. And Ontario, never actually freezes over completely, but it would take Erie longer to freeze over too. So that would mean more lake effect for the western New York area. So I think it is going to be a bigger lake effect winter for us than it was last year, but
Okay.
I think it is going to be pretty normal as of right now.
Hey, you know what starts tomorrow on radio stations all across the country? They flip their formats and go all Christmas.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
good
way too
stuff.
early.
Rachel loves
way
it,
too
though,
early.
right? You love the Christmas
I love
music.
it.
I'm dreaming of a white Thanksgiving. Right? It might happen. So, all right, Rachel,
Yeah, it could.
good stuff. So 60s tomorrow, though.
60s, yeah, we'll get in
Not
the lower
bad.
60s,
All right.
but we will watch for rain to come in late afternoon, early evening, and that's what's eventually going to flip us back to the 40s by Friday. I think
Right.
by Thursday we'll still be in the 50s. Rain will be hanging around for at least the first half of the day, but once the system's out of here, all it's going to do is make the forecast pretty quiet
Yeah.
through even the weekend and cool us down into the upper 40s.
All right. Chief Meteorologist Rachael Sutherland, thanks so much.
Witter.
I'm sorry. I've got two Rachels on the line here. Chief Meteorologist Rachael Witter. I'm going next to Rachael Sutherland. Rachael Witter, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.